Welcome back to the Veal Echo. Tonight we journey into one of the most chilling chapters of American history, a story that begins in silence, far from the busy cities in the heart of the countryside. Picture a lonely farmhouse standing against the fading light of dusk. Clouds gather above like a warning, the last rays of sun casting long, uneasy shadows. From the outside it looks ordinary, but behind those walls something far more sinister is stirring. In the quiet of night, people begin to gather, their faces hidden beneath hoods, their voices hushed to whispers. They don't meet in grand halls or churches, they gather in barns and cellars in the forgotten corners of rural America. The air flickers with candlelight, every flame casting strange and shifting patterns across wooden walls. Here, secrecy is survival, and loyalty to their leader is demanded with unwavering devotion. At the center of it all stands the cult leader. His eyes, piercing, unrelenting, hold the kind of power that bends the weak and the vulnerable. He clutches an ancient book, its pages filled with strange markings and cryptic passages. To outsiders it would look like madness, but to his followers every word is sacred, every command unquestionable. They believe he alone can unlock the path to salvation or destruction. A table sits before them, scarred with bizarre symbols carved deep into its surface. Wax drips endlessly from candles, pooling like rivers of time. The objects scattered across it aren't sacred relics but things twisted into meaning: bones, animal skulls, fragments of forgotten rituals. On the floor, chalk markings form intricate shapes, a maze of symbols smeared with faint traces of blood. To the untrained eye it's chaos, but to the faithful it is the map of their devotion. The followers kneel in silence, a circle of bodies caught in the glow of firelight. Their faces are expressionless, drained of humanity. They have given up their will, surrendering it to something greater, darker. Above them their leader raises his arms, the shadows stretching long and sinister. His voice cuts through the silence, each word pulling them deeper into the abyss. But this is only the beginning. Outside, the world remains unaware. The neighbors see only flickering lights in the barn, only faint sounds carried by the wind. No one questions, no one suspects, yet inside something is growing, something dangerous, something sadistic. It feeds not just on belief but on fear, fear of leaving, fear of disobeying, fear of the punishment that waits for those who doubt. This was the birth of darkness, a seed planted in isolation, watered with loyalty and nurtured by secrecy. In this farmhouse a cult was not just formed, it was forged in terror. And as the night deepened, so did their devotion, setting the stage for the horrors yet to come. The night is heavy, the air thick with smoke and whispers. Deep inside the compound, the cult's rituals unfold, rituals designed not just to worship but to control, to bind, and to terrify. At the heart of it all stands a makeshift altar, crafted from bones and skulls, arranged with chilling precision. Flickering candles illuminate the grotesque structure, their wax dripping down like time itself melting away. The sight alone is enough to freeze the blood of any outsider, but to the faithful it is sacred. The floor is marked with crude symbols, chalked and smeared with crimson stains. These are not mere drawings, they are promises, each line a vow of obedience, each drop of blood a reminder of the price of doubt. Around this circle of terror the followers kneel, silent, still, their hands clasped, their eyes empty. Their individuality has been stripped away, replaced with one collective will, the will of their leader. The leader raises his arms again, his voice echoing like thunder in the barn. He doesn't speak in sermons of love or redemption, his words are carved from fear. He demands loyalty, sacrifice, and silence. To disobey is to suffer, to question is to vanish. His gaze sweeps the room, and even in the dim light you can see the tremor ripple through his followers. Fear, not faith, keeps them bound to him. In the shadows, secrets are traded. Followers whisper to one another, eyes darting with paranoia. They are trapped in a web where trust doesn't exist. Each word could be betrayal, each silence a confession. Among them sits an outsider, bound tightly to a chair, eyes wide with terror. They are surrounded by blank faces staring with chilling detachment. Here, a person isn't seen as a human being but as an offering, a lesson, a warning. One follower hesitates. A trembling hand holds a knife, caught between obedience and morality. The conflict is written across their face, tears glisten, breath quivers, but the pressure of the leader's gaze is unbearable. In this world, weakness is crushed and hesitation can be fatal. Beneath the barn lies something darker still, a cellar where chains dangle from rotting beams, cages line the walls, and silence is broken only by muffled cries. Here, control becomes absolute. Here the cult ensures no one escapes, not physically, not mentally. The rituals above are theater, but this basement is the reality, a prison of fear. When the full moon rises, they move into the forest. Cloaked figures gather around a towering bonfire, their chants rising into the night. Sparks fly into the sky like spirits fleeing, while their voices create a symphony of dread. The ritual is more than ceremony, it is performance, designed to crush hope and ensure obedience. And in the dirt, just beyond the firelight, lies a child's toy. Forgotten, abandoned, swallowed by shadows. It's a silent reminder that innocence has no place here, that once someone steps into the cult's grasp, there is no return. This is not faith, this is not community. This is domination, rituals built not to worship but to control. And as the flames roar higher, so too does the power of the cult, binding its followers ever tighter to a nightmare from which escape feels impossible. The fire that once bound the cult together begins to flicker with uncertainty. Whispers of rebellion ripple beneath the chants, fear colliding with desperation. It is no longer blind devotion that fills the night, it is doubt. The rituals that once promised salvation now reveal their true face: cruelty, violence, and despair. The cult leader once revered now wears a smile too wide, too sinister, his eyes glowing with madness. His grip is strong, but cracks are forming, and the world outside is beginning to close in. In the barn, a masked figure drags a sack across the floor, its contents hidden but heavy, the sound scraping against the wooden boards. Silence hangs thick and suffocating. The followers do not move. They dare not ask what lies within, but their faces betray the terror they can no longer conceal. Above them, a blood-red moon hovers in the sky, casting its eerie light over the compound. The night itself seems to conspire with the darkness, but this time the silence will not last. Far beyond the compound, law enforcement begins to move. Authorities have traced the whispers, uncovered the evidence, and now the forest is filled with beams of light. Flashlights pierce the underbrush, illuminating what had been hidden for years: shallow graves, skeletal remains, proof of the cult's sadistic reign. Each discovery fuels their determination. This is not just a raid. This is justice clawing its way into a place that believed itself untouchable. Inside, the followers fracture. One breaks down in tears, unable to continue the charade. Their sobs echo in the wooden walls, a sound more haunting than the chants that once filled the space. Some cling desperately to the leader, unwilling to face the reality that their faith has been a prison. Others stare blankly, their minds too broken to comprehend what's coming, and some finally begin to run. Then chaos. Police storm the farmhouse, sirens slicing through the night, shouts erupt, doors splinter. The compound, once so carefully hidden, collapses in an instant of light and sound. Cult members are dragged into the open, their blank faces unshaken even in chains. Their eerie calm unsettles the officers because it seems the cult's grip lingers even after capture. And at the center, the leader himself. Handcuffed, restrained, surrounded by armed men, yet smiling, that same unnerving, knowing smile. He does not resist, nor does he repent. His eyes burn with a defiance that words cannot match. Even in defeat, he projects control, leaving an unshakable dread in the hearts of those who meet his gaze. In the weeks that follow, the horrors spill into the public eye. Courtrooms overflow with survivors testifying, voices trembling as they recount unspeakable acts. The audience listens in disbelief, realizing how something so sadistic had grown in the shadows of their own country. Each word, each tear strips away the cult's secrecy, exposing it to the light. And yet when the dust settles, what remains is haunting. The compound lies abandoned, its barns collapsing, its cellars rotting. Nature reclaims the land, but the silence is heavier now, as though the earth itself remembers. The structures may fall, the people may scatter, but the darkness born here still lingers like a scar etched into the soil of America. Because evil does not simply disappear, it echoes. And this cult, the most sadistic in American history, left behind an echo that will never fade.